Hi guys, welcome back. Well, it is October and it is fall and it's that wonderful time of year. And I have some new stamps to show you from Kitchen Sink Stamps. So the one we're going to play with today is called Silhouette Cattails. I am going to bring in the small boat from Gone Fishing, which is also a new stamp set. There will be a video on that set next week. I'm going to show you the first card I've already made, which was really easy to do. And all I did was I used some pan pastels, put some blue in the sky, some wispy oranges and yellows there, and then stamp the silhouette stamp on there, which you can see came out beautifully. But I was thinking, you know, this looks like a fishing scene to me. If I can just turn this into water and put a fishing boat on there, we're going to have a beautiful fishing scene. So if you want to come along with me, we'll make that together. So I'm going to start off with a piece of Neenah Solar White. This is cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. And I like to stamp my image just real quickly to give me a placement. So I'm going to use my Mini Misty. I'm going to take out my foam piece because this is a red rubber stamp. And we're just going to tuck that into the corner and tuck my stamp into the corner. So I want to make sure that our paper doesn't move and our stamp doesn't move. So everything is in place. All right, now, need a quick drying black ink here that's not going to smear. So I'm going to use some Catherine Pooler Midnight ink. I don't like to use this on my clear photopolymer stamps because it is an archival ink and it does dry quickly, but also stains the stamps. But on red rubber stamps, it's not going to be a big deal. And I just want to do a light inking. Again, I just want to see the placement of the stamp. Now, my paper just moved, so I just want to make sure that that's in the bottom corner here. All right, that's pretty good. A little bald spot there. There we go. All right, so we're going to leave the stamp in the stamp positioner and just move it out of the way for a second. And the first thing I want to do is kind of create my horizon. So I'm just bringing in a scrap piece of paper. And we're going to pretend like that is water right about there. So we're going to bring in our palettes. I'm going to be using my day and night palette, which you can pick up from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. And I'll have 7 beautiful colors. I do have a couple of extra colors in here that I purchased separately. If you're going to be starting your pan pastels, first of all, they're super easy to use. They're very highly pigmented. They are like a chalk, but I don't like calling them a chalk because they're not dusty and crusty like chalk. They're very soft, blendable powder, highly pigmented. These are professional artist quality. You always want to pick up a colorless blender because it does make everything smooth and work out easily. But I'm going to be going in and using some blues. So I'll probably be using some turquoise. I think this is ultramarine blue and phthalo blue. So these are the 3 colors I'll be using for my water. And you can also purchase these sponge tools. They're called soft tools, but any kind of sponges that you have, these are specifically made for pan pastels so that they blend easily without sacrificing any kind of colors or leaving any kind of streaky marks. So I'm just going to turn my panel here, line it up on my grid, put this down as my mask for my horizon, hold that in place, and just start picking up some of those blues and pulling them in. Obviously, my sponge has already got some color in it, so that's all I really need to do right there. I don't even need to add anything else. We're good. All right. Ta-da! There's our water, okay? So we'll put our little boat in there in just a moment. Now what I want to do is I want to do the sky, and I want a orange and yellow kind of wispy sky. So I'm going to bring in my Sunrise Sunset palette, which again, you're going to get 7 colors. I do have a couple of extra colors. You can purchase a couple of extra a la carte colors to fill your palette. And I'm going to be using my blending tool. Right here. when you purchase these palettes from Blue Night Rubber Stamps, not only do you get the 7 colors, you get the storage palette. Normally they're sold as individual pots, but you get the storage palette. You also get a couple of these tools. So you'll get some of these. You'll get a handheld blending one. You'll get a refill. I think you get one of these little guys. So it comes with everything you need to get started. And if you watch Blue Night Rubber Stamps YouTube channel, Lynn, the owner, has done some beautiful pan pastel tutorials. I also have a playlist of pan pastel tutorials, but you'll see how easy this comes together and looks like a beautiful card. And the best thing is no mess. I can go upstairs, wash my hands. I don't have ink all over the place. It's very, very easy cleanup. All right. So I am going to just kind of flip my paper over because I don't want any of that blue blending in with my yellow. So just fold this over like that. Go. And I'm going to be using some of this Starlight yellow, some orange, maybe bring in some magenta. The 2 extra colors I think I have are these here, which is a darker magenta. What is that one called? Magenta shade, orange shade, and yellow ochre. So these 3 do not come into the palette, just so you're aware. And I'm just going to start with the Starlight regular yellow. Okay. And all I'm going to do is start from the outside and start flicking this in. That's it. I'm going to go on the other side and same thing. Just start blending it in. It's really like putting eyeshadow on. It's that easy. I really don't want too much of that color in the middle. I just want it on the edges, and it will pull itself towards the middle as I do this blending. Okay, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some orange. Same thing, I'm just going to blend that in. I'm going to flick that in, starting from the edges, watching how that color kind of comes in, maybe move the positioning of my brush. And this time I'm not going to go all the way up and down. I'm just going to pick a couple of random spots. So you'll see I have 2 sides on the left here. Just bringing that in. And then 1 little spot in the middle here. Just pulling it. It's very little color that you need. Now, if you like high intense colors, you can always go in and add more. I want this to be kind of a wispy, almost like a sunrise or sunset look. Okay. And I'm really kind of making a triangle, so it's very wide here. And as I pull the color in, I'm going at an angle and kind of going up. So this is a triangle here. It's a triangle here. Not deliberate, like, look, it's a triangle, but just very subtle that my colors are wider on the outside, and as they go into the center, they're thinning out. Okay, so I've done yellow, I've done orange. I'm going to add a little tiny smidgen of magenta and just kind of go in, again, putting that in and just a little random pop of color in there. Right in the middle of my orange. Starting from the outside, dragging it towards the middle. And there we have the streaky sky, very reminiscent of a fall sunset, right? Okay, that's it. We're done with the pan pastels. If you want to add more color, go ahead and add more color. I'm pretty happy with that. Now what we're going to do is finish it off with some more stamping. To clean your tools, by the way, all you do is take a little paper towel. You do not have to wash these in soap and water. If you wanted to do soap and water, you certainly could, but you can just use a little paper towel and wipe them off that way. Okay, now that we have our panel stamped, we want to, or colored, we want to re-stamp our image so that it's black again. So we're going to bring that back into our Mini Misty, Put it back into the corner. Re-ink our stamp. Make sure we have that all the way in the corner. All right, that is beautiful. So I'm going to take my stamp off, and we want to add a little accessory, which is the boat. It's also a brand new set. Show you guys that. Clean this off quick. So this one is called Cattails. We're going to bring in Gone Fishing. And for Gone Fishing, we're going to bring in this little boat here. Now, you'll notice I have a little mask here. I use this little mask just to show me in placement where I would like this to go. So, I want to line up. I think that looks pretty good there. But I'm going to make sure that we have the correct placement by putting a little piece of plastic or acetate down. So, for this one, I am going to put a little magnet on my image. And you want the solid layer up and the one that has the little lines. You see that? So the solid part of the stamp is going to be at the top. The bottom one is the one that has the little lines, okay? That way you don't put the stamp on upside down. And I kind of want it out here, like it's out in the water, it's way out, somebody's standing on the shoreline, envious that they're in a boat fishing, okay? I'm gonna put my little piece of acetate in here. Ink up my image, do a test stamp. Okay, whoops. Make sure we like that. That's actually pretty good. I think I would actually prefer for my boat, my shadow to be a little higher like that. So I'm going to move my stamp. Let me clean off my piece of acetate. I'm going to move my stamp up just a smidgen. Okay. Try that again with my acetate. Don't even need to re-ink it. All right, now it's a little too high. I'm actually going to mark the stamp. Here's a little trick for you. I'm going to take a Sharpie marker, and right where I see the split between the top and the shadow of the boat, I'm putting a line, okay? So right here. Now I can line that line up with my horizon because I want the shadow below the horizon in the water, and I want the other part of the boat on the top. So now I can see that. There's the line. My line is on the blue water. My line is on the blue water. Okay, should have better placement this time around. Gotta ink that up. I still have my piece of acetate in there. That is much better. I probably could go a little higher. I keep saying that. But this way, you don't want all that time you just spent making that beautiful background and then stamping it, and it's just a little off. I'm going to make sure we have it in the right spot. And I know I'm being a little fussy here, but it's a pretty background and I really don't want to have to mess it up. Okay, that's perfect right there. So now we're going to take our acetate off, clean that off, put that away. Put our little magnet back in here, and I like on the silhouette images to use a stamp positioning tool again because we have to re-ink the stamp and go back in. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Boy, wouldn't give to be in my boat on the lake right now. Look at how pretty that is. And then all we're going to do is spray our pan pastels with some Krylon clear spray. Then we'll cut it down and mat it on a card front. So this was using the brand new Silhouette Cattails, doing some pan pastel blending there, making a horizon, making a little lake, and then adding the small boat from Gone Fishing. Stay tuned next week. I will have another video just on the Gone Fishing set. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you're new with Blue Knight Rubber Stamps, go check them out at BlueKnightRubberStamps.com. They do also have a Fans of Blue Knight Rubber Stamps Facebook group and their own YouTube channel where they do a lot of videos showing some many ways to use their stamps and also on their pan pastels. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye-bye, guys.